Yo, what's up everyone? Haspatas here with my second guide ever. I've created my very first guide a few days ago about the most effective gold farm as a rogue. And today we will discuss and go over another gold farm, also in BRD, that some may argue is as good or better than what I showed you a few days ago. Well, we will find out. Now, just to recap quickly, my last guide circled around three types of mobs. Killing the first three elemental patrols for elemental fires and essence, or any other good loot. They do have 5% chance to drop elemental fires and about same chance to drop the essence of fire. Then pickpocketing the guards and spectators, culminating with the boss kill. We've estimated that a loop like that brings on average 70 gold per hour. Now we didn't get any rare or chance items like a traveler backpack did not drop, for example. So nothing like that, were included in the tally. Now, most gold came from elemental fires. I think I had 5, or maybe 4, I don't remember. But blind powder from pickpocketed footlockers, which sold like for 25 silver each. And just random vendor trash like blue, buying on pickup items, etc. Now, there's one problem with that route. It only takes about 8 minutes from the start time until you come back to the instance for the reset, which means you will hit a lockout. And since you can only enter 5 instances per 1 hour. So unless you want to wait, there are ways to extend your last run and stretch your 5 runs to last an hour or more. Now, there are 2 places that I explored, the bar and the vault. Today, we'll talk about the bar. In this video's description, I've included the link of my very first guide, the detailed tutorial for the most effective gold farm per hour that doesn't require any special items, professions, skills, or anything else. A farm that any rogue can do. So please check it out. Now for this part, we will need a little bit more. For the bar clear, I am using instant poison and mind numbing poison. I found that they significantly improve the clear time and make the fights easier. Now this is a gold farm, right? Was the goal of walking away was the most amount of gold. For that reason, I'm keeping consumables to a minimum and only using what's absolutely necessary. One important reminder, don't forget to unlock the wheel. What you saw up to this point was the original loop, described in detail in the first video. Now that it's complete, we go to the bar. Feel free to pickpocket mobs on the way. It is decent money, and you get footlockers that contain blind powder and other things. You can also sometimes get gems. Now, important part is to always have either vanish or preparation ready, as if pickpocket fails, you will need it. So unless I'm fighting, I am always in my PvP spec with preparation. The 2 specs you want to use are the combat spec with adrenaline rush and blade flurry, and whatever second spec that does have preparation. I use assassination subtlety PvP spec for my second spec. Once you're at the bar, don't start pickpocketing just yet. We will do that when adrenaline rush is on cooldown. Now, first boss we are killing is Ribley. He drops various greens, some blue BOPs, and can drop a buy on pickup 16 slot bag. So kinda like Traveler's Backpack that you cannot trade. Now you will need slow poison for this fight, as he runs away very fast when he's low on health. For offhand, I use instant poison. The most effective way to kill him that I found is to vanish as soon as he aggroes, wait for full health, change spec to one with preparation, use preparation resetting your vanish, then spec back to combat. Once ready, open with an ambush or by sapping one of his guards. In this video I am using blind powder on one of the guards, but as you can see, blind does not last long, so I will be using sap moving forward. Pop your evasion, get 1 2-point slice and dice, pop blade flurry, take him down. Once dead, just vanish. Unless you are OP and can take down his guards as well. Well, I'm not an OP, I'm not overpowered, so I have to vanish. Good job. First boss is down. Now, while your adrenaline rush is cooling down, use the time to picklock your numerous footlockers that you got earlier, sell your junk to the vendor that we'll be killing later, pickpocket all the patrons. Just be careful. If your pickpocket fails, you will need Vanish available. When done pickpocketing and adrenaline rush is nearly ready, we start the second boss. Now, to aggro this boss, you need to steal 3 food items from the table, or pickpocket him and then steal 2 items from the table. Make sure to steal the pork, as it is used to cook 2 food items that increase spell damage or healing amount. So kind of like squid, but for the casters. Now, pork itself sells for about 1 gold a piece on the Action House on my server. I don't know if that's how long that's gonna be, if it'll go up or go down, but currently it's about 1 gold. Now in this video, I take safer approach. I use combat spec with adrenaline rush first to clear his ads, and when they're dead I vanish. I heal up, respec to PvP spec with preparation, and apply mind numbing poison. This boss cannot be stunned, interrupted, blinded, or kicked. So mind-numbing poison is super helpful since it increases his cast speed or cast time by 60%. So open with an ambush, get 5 points, cold blood, eviscerate, preparation, rinse and repeat. Now, in this example, I almost killed him without Vanish. So next, I will try to Blade Flurry on him as primary, and see if we can skip having to Vanish. And the little gnome hits the ground. Great, we are done here and need to head back to the entrance. Now notice that patrons are now hostile. Now that we've got the basics down, let's run this about 6 or 7 times so we can get most accurate estimate of how much gold per hour this loop brings, and how does it compare to the original loop we discussed in the first video. Always do Goblin first, since Gnome will result in the whole place being aggroed. The biggest issue with this farm is the risk of failing to pickpocket someone and not having Vanish ready. It can be mitigated by using the safe reset spot in the bar, which I'm about to show you. It works just like the reset safe spot from the first video behind the statue. So during this run, I let Gnome Boss aggro away from me when he realizes that his pockets were picked. It looks like that way I can separate and pull his ads separate from him, saving myself a vanish, without having even used numbing poison. And looks like I forgot to update the goal chart on the right after the first run, so I will update it now for the both of them. Third run didn't go that well, yet proved to be the most profitable. I had to wait for my preparation cooldown for a bit, slowing down the run, and had even died to the gnome boss, as his ads did not behave at all like they did the first time before. I was not able to separate them from the boss, and ended up pulling all without a vanish. I probably should have waited for the vanish cooldown just to be on the safe side, but I figured if I could do it last time, I'll be able to do it this time too. Not the case. However, the 16 slot bag dropped from the goblin. Now, it cannot be sold in the auction house, but it is equivalent to the traveler's backpack in capacity, which usually sells for around 35 gold on my server. Now, you can use it just like the traveler's backpack, saving you money for not buying one, or selling a traveler's backpack if you already have one. Now, I don't know if it was the right thing to include it as 32 gold. That's the value that it shows it's selling on the auction house at the time of the run. Or was it not the right thing? I don't know. I did include it, however, because it allowed me to free up one of my traveler's backpack, which I did end up selling on the auction house for about 34 gold. But I'm counting it as a 32 at this time. That plus the elemental fire and vendor trash made it about 54 gold in 20 minutes. So what I am learning doing this run, doing this loop, is that this run requires precise sequence of actions, and you cannot afford to forget small things, like the right poison for the right boss, or how to get away to the safe spot if your pickpocket fails and you don't have a vanish on ready. As you could see, sometimes I do forget, and I had to drink quite a few potions or use other extra means to not die. So all in all, this is a much more challenging and difficult run than the original loop described in the first video or shown at the beginning of this video. Is it viable? Maybe. The pros of this loop is that you will not get locked out, and if you do have stronger gear than me, you can probably kill Hurley the Black Breath for additional loot. But this guide is meant to be for an average rogue, so average rogue would probably struggle. I've tried to kill Hurley twice, and I had to vanish both times because I was not even close. Now, what I think this loop is better for is to do this on your 5th run of the original farm, to extend your overall run to avoid lockout. Anyway, here is the tally of all 7 runs with the breakdown how much gold I have made per hour. I've sold all the vendor garbage and all the BOPs, and I've only left what is going to the action house for sale. I did count the backpack, because taking it allowed me to sell one of my traveler's backpacks. Without the backpack, this would be around 60 gold per hour, which again reinforces my opinion that this is not as good as the original or the first farm that I did. But it is a great addition to the 5th run to avoid the lockout. Now, I did save best for last. Soon I will create a guide on how to clear the vault room, kill the boss there, well, 2 bosses, and loot all of the safes. You can do that as an addition to the original loop as well. Or you can do that as a standalone farm if you'd like. I don't know how much gold per hour that is. Some people say that is the best one. So we are going to test it out. I have not run it yet. So I will record some clips, put the video together, and it'll be coming out soon. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked it at all, or if this was in any shape, even a little bit entertaining, please like and subscribe. I am a very new creator with a young channel, and I am tirelessly working on my goal to obtain 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize my channel. Thank you, and good night.